Tsubasa Kurata, an otaku from contemporary Japan who perished in a car accident, is reincarnated in the Frumvilla Kingdom. Strong mechs known as Silhouette Knights are employed in this medieval setting to battle terrifying demonic animals. Ernesti Ekvaria, or Eru in short, is born into a noble family and has extraordinary magical powers, enrolls in Royal Laihaila Academy. This magic academy prepares young people to fly the Silhouette Knight, enabling them to defend the kingdom against both demonic and human dangers. To accomplish a task that is yet to be done in several millennia, Eru partners up with the Ulter twins, Adeltrud and Arkid, to one day create his own Silhouette Knight after riding and defeating a demonic beast with it. The following day, the king calls for Eru because he wants to give him something for beating the behemoth. Eru asks for the secret plans for the ether reactor, which is the heart of a Silhouette Knight. This surprises both the court and his grandpa. The king laughs when Eru says he wants to build his dream Silhouette Knight and ride it as a sport. The king agrees to Eru's request if he can first build an even better Silhouette Knight. Marquis Saladi, Stefania, Adi, Kid's father, and one of the king's advisors tell his children if Eru is successful so he can tell the king. Eru tells his dwarf friend Batson and his boss and Silhouette Knight engineer, David, about his plan to improve the performance of a Silhouette Knight. David likes Eru's idea. Eru and the dwarven engineers use Helvi's Trandorkis as test subjects. They use stuck crystal tissues to make the Trandorkis 30% stronger and add 2 sidearms with magic rods behind its back, so the Silhouette Knight can fight close up and cast spells simultaneously. Eru and Batson also make Silhouette gears, which are mech suits that are big enough for people to wear, so that Addy and Kid can learn how to control Silhouette Knights. After the changes were made, the Trandorkis, which is now called a Telestale, did well in its first run. Later, Helvi's Telestale fights Edgar's Earlcumber in a fake match. Telestale almost wins, but its mana runs out before it can. Later that night, the engineers celebrate the success of the Telestale, and Eru comes up with more ideas for the Silhouette Knight. She doesn't know that another group is watching their work. While Eru and the engineers try to find a way to fix the Telestale's high mana use, Eru makes weapons for the Silhouette gears, including an automatic crossbow. Addy and Kid tell their father about how well the Telestale is doing, and their father tells Marquis Dixguard. Marquis Dixguard told the Order of the Scarlet Rabbit to bring 3 Telestale Silhouette Knights to Fort Cassidesis, where the Marquis would check and test them. During the trip, a Shaker Worm demon beast attacks the Scarlet Rabbit convoy. Edgar, Helvi, and Dietrich can beat it in their Telestale, which impresses the Scarlet Rabbit's Knight Commander Fredholm. Order of the Bronze Fang, a group of spies watching Eru's work, set up the trap. No one else knew about it. At Fort Cassidesis, Eru meets Marquis Dixguard, who doesn't like him because he changed the way knights are made. After telling Eru that he will report all new Silhouette Knights designs to the king, the Marquis is shocked that Eru doesn't mind and is interested in fame or money because he wants to make newer and better Silhouette Knights. In the end, the Marquis gives in because Eru wants to make a newer and better Silhouette Knight. Eru's friends are on their way to Fort Cassidesis to get him, but the Order of the Bronze Fang attacks a nearby town with demon beasts to get the Order of the Scarlet Rabbit to come out and attack Fort Cassidesis. The following day, Marquis Dixguard is shocked that the people who broke into the fort and stole the Telestale were using cursed bait, a banned mixture that attracts demon beasts and makes them go crazy. He thinks someone from another country did this. King Ambrosius thanked Eru and his friends for their work a few days later. He also made a new order of knights called the Order of the Silver Phoenix, which Eru was in charge of. To study and make better Silhouette Knights, Edgar, who is getting better, tells Helvi that he will find the stolen Telestale, which was really her Silhouette Knight. As a Telestale is sent to the Silhouette Knight Laboratory, the best research lab in the Frumvilla Kingdom, the directors want to figure out how it works to mass-produce Silhouette Knights to impress King Ambrosius. Meanwhile, Eru and the Order of the Silver Phoenix start working on making better Silhouette Knights with help from Marquis Dixguard, who gives them 2 Silhouette Knight companies of Kaldatoas to use as models, and Eru makes a Silhouette gear for the Knightsmiths to make their jobs easier and to add new designs and changes to the Silhouette Knights. Eru and the Order of the Silver Phoenix go to the capital to face off against the Silhouette Knight Laboratory's Kaldatoa Darsh models in front of King Ambrosius and his ministers. They do this by making a 2-seater cockpit for Addy and Kid, a silhouette knight that looks like a centaur, and magical daggers that can be used as keys to start as a silhouette knight. The match between the Order of the Silver Phoenix and the laboratory team ends in a tie when a big group of shell-cased beasts head for Alfheim, the city where ether reactors are made and where the Alphas live. Ambrosius and Emrys are sent to help defend it, along with the Order of the Silver Phoenix. Eru and the others quickly beat the attackers with the help of the new units. Eru killed the shell-cased queen by himself. After the battle, Ambrosius finally agrees to Eru's request to show him how ether reactors are made. He takes Eru to Alfheim, where the Great Elder Kitli, the leader of the Alvis, gives him approval. He then stays there for 3 months to learn how the process works. When he returns, Ambrosius gives him permission to use the catalyst from the behemoth and the shell-cased queen he killed to make a custom ether reactor and finish his own silhouette knight, Ikaruga. The kingdom of Zaladek goes to war to take over the whole western continent. The troops of Zaladek easily get past the defenses of the kingdom of Kushpercha with the help of their newest silhouette knights and transport airships. With defeat likely, the king asks Prince Cristobal, who is in charge of the Zaladek forces, to fight him in a duel so that his daughter, Princess Eleonora, can get away. The king loses and dies, but Eleonora, her aunt Martina, and cousin Isadola, who is also King Leotamus' sister and niece, are taken prisoner by the enemy. Leotamus sends the Order of the Silver Phoenix and Emrys to investigate the situation. They easily beat the enemies guarding the border and find that their new silhouette knights have the same technology as the telestale stolen from Fort Cassidesis. This leads them to believe that the thieves were connected to Zaladek. When Eru and the others discover that Eleonora is being pushed to marry Cristobal, they plan to save her. However, Cristobal discovers that their plans send Gustav Mardones to find them. When Gustav meets Eru's group, he attacks them, but they are too strong for him, so he runs away with the help of Lady Kurhild. The Order of the Silver Phoenix saved Eleonora, Martina, and Isadola by using silhouette gears. These new upgrades, the Kushperchan can easily stop an enemy attack on the city. Lady Kurhild is told to launch a surprise attack on the Silver Phoenix's base to capture the princess in return for restoring her family's name. But Eru and his friends were ready. They quickly beat and captured the Bronze Fang Knights. In a fight with Edgar, Lady Kurhild was killed. Cristobal leads a big group of silhouette knights and airships to attack the Kushperchan stronghold and capture Eleonora. But he walks into a trap set by the Order of the Silver Phoenix, which now has weapons called javelins that can shoot down their airships. Cristobal's airship tries to leave, but the Ikaruga stops it. This is because the Silver Phoenix's silhouette knights were better than his own. Eru beats Cristobal easily in the fight, and then Cristobal tries to get Eru to join his side by giving him money. But when Eru said he didn't care about being a noble, Cristobal jumped to his death rather than being humiliated by being caught. This lowered the morale of his army, which made them run away. Eleonora becomes queen of Kushperchan and says that the country is starting over. As the Silver Phoenix and the Kushperchan troops are now taking back their lands, Zaladek's top scientist, Horatio Gojas, tells Princess Catalina that he will make a new weapon to help her get revenge for her brother's death. Months later, the Silver Phoenix and Kushperchan troops finally take back a fortress held by Zaladek. However, they are attacked by Horatio's new weapon, a huge airship in the shape of a drake. The Ikaruga, whose captain Doloteo Mardones wants to get revenge for Cristobal's death, fights against Viver, which is Zaladek's newest weapon. Gustavo, Doloteo's son, is leading the Zaladek army against Dietrich and his men. Dietrich tricks Gustavo into using all of his magic, so Gustavo must give up his silhouette knight. Eru can't defeat the Viver's defenses, so he has to land the Ikaruga after its jet engines are damaged by the Viver's chaff smoke. After using all of its mana to kill the Ikaruga, the Viver has no choice but to leave. As Eru and his friends leave, Horatio fixes and puts a bigger ether reactor in the Viver to give it more power. Princess Catalina gives Gustavo the Zaladek's royal family silhouette knight, Alcalarix. After talking about their battle plans, Eru and the Silver Phoenix Knights agree with Eleonora's plan for Eru and the Silver Phoenix Knights to fight the Viver. At the same time, Eleonora leads the Kushperchan army back to their city, Delvancol. As the Kushperchans and Zaladeks fight at the last fortress before Delvancol, the Viver comes with Horatio on board to attack Eleonora's position, only to find that Eru has fixed up and improved a captured airship to fight them. After getting the viver away from the fight, Eru's group attacks with oil-filled javelin missiles that set the enemy ship on fire when they explode. In reaction, Doloteo turns on the viver's dragon blood reactor, which creates a huge energy shield around it. On land, Gustavo is defeated by Edgar with the help of the Emrys, while an infiltration party takes over the drawbridge controls, letting the Kushperchon forces attack. Eru breaks through the viver's energy shield and attacks it straight from the sky, killing it. Doloteo gets control of the viver in a last-ditch effort to kill Eleonora. He tries to crash it into the Kushperchon base to kill Eleonora, but Eru and Kid stop him and destroy the viver. After the fight, the Kushperchon forces take over Delvinkul, and Catalina kills herself with poison to avoid being caught. This ends the war, and Eleonora is recognized as Kushpercha's real leader. Eru is watched from far away when he gets home. Horatio, who survived the destruction of the viver, leaves to find another country to sell his skills because he wants to fight Eru again. In Flamvilla, Ambrosius thanks the Order of the Silver Knights for their hard work and gives Eru his lab. Meanwhile, the airship's technology is spread to the nearby countries, bringing a new era of trade and transportation to the whole continent. Click on one of these two videos on your screen right now.